Hello, welcome to another episode of Off the Pitch. You're probably wondering why the background's different. It's because I'm in my own VAR studio in sunny Spain. But first of all, I probably want to kick off with 94 minutes of hell. England game, scraped through. George, you're probably still saying we're going to go and win it. But that was horrific.
Because he's watched so much Mourinho, and that's what it is.
I'm used to it. It was pretty diabolical viewing for 94 minutes, wasn't it? It really was. But look, I've criticised him before the tournament, and I thought he had a terrible game throughout the game. But he stepped up in that moment, didn't he? And what a fucking goal that was!
Yeah. It was England's first shot on target.
Yeah, we did hit the post though, and Kane should have scored, and we did have a tight margin offside, but it was bad.
Yeah, that bothers me that when you hit the post or the crossbar, it's not a shot on goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
actually a lot of the time better than a shot on target.
Yeah, it's close to scoring. It should count for something, a stat. Like I don't know.
Yeah, if a guy takes a punt from the halfway line, keeper just picks
it up.
Yeah.
If he scuffs it and it just rolls into the keeper's arms, it's like, oh, that's a shot.
Yeah.
If someone rolls the crossbar, then it's not. I don't know. I don't like that.
I guess someone's lost a few bets.
Yeah, that's
literally surely that fucking counts. Yeah,
that's literally it, isn't it?
Piers, what did you think?
It wasn't good. You know what? I heard Manu getting slammed. I know I'm biased, but I thought he did all right.
I thought, he didn't get praised by most people.
Like the Twitterati was slamming him, but I thought he did all right. He looked in control. He didn't look phased. I thought he did a good job.
I thought Manu looked very calm.
People thinking that swapping in Manu is going to suddenly, get playing slick quality football.
I'm a bit worried we got to change centre half now.
Yeah, that could be an issue. But yeah, just looking at the game in general, I thought defensively it's the first time we've looked vulnerable. Walker had an absolute clanger of a game. He couldn't do anything right.
He got outrun.
I don't know what was going on with him. Stones probably had the worst game he's ever had in an England shirt as well. Trippier, it was the same again. The one time he got forward, we had the offside goal. He just cuts in every time on that right foot and just kills so many of our attacks. Yeah, I know. It's the same as the goal in the last game, wasn't it? He shouldn't be offside. It's just same again.
Here I am in VAR studio. Offside. Whether it's a millimetre.
No, but he shouldn't have been. He's looking across. He should know. He's actually looking at the guy. Get behind the ball.
It was obvious he was offside.
It's a playground mistake. That's the problem.
He didn't need it 2 feet. Do you know what I mean? He could have had it in front of him and just watch the line. Just keep. I don't know. It just seemed like.
Yeah. He was well offside. He wasn't.
Yeah, he was. His whole body was offside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Pep must have been watching that thinking, I need a fucking new right back.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how bad Walker looked.
Yeah.
But I think he might be 34. His legs have got to go at some point.
The problem is,
right, Piers, you've summed it up here. At club level, all of these guys are remarkable. But together, in the England team, they just look like shambles. It's going back to what Cully said. It's playground football. It's probably worse than playground football.
Yeah,
they're just so slow. They're so slow. They need to take that extra touch, and it's like they've never played with each other. Do you get what I mean? It's just strange, and we've got outstanding players who are being outstandingly poor. You know, and if it was just one guy was having a bad game or two, you'd say, okay, it's the players. But if the whole lot of them are bad, you know, you have to question things outside the players because everybody's bad. And it's just painful viewing. That's what it is. It's so painful, cringy.
Ben White doesn't look so silly now, does he? With his feet up in IB.
He still looks like a muppet. You should be wanting to play your country.
You're saying that we could do with him in the
thing,
next game. The next game we could do with him, but yeah, it's
that's why. You know what? It was kind of bittersweet towards the end because he's, it's almost like I didn't want them to go through because of how bad they've been. I thought you don't deserve this. Like,
yeah,
obviously you're buzzing when we equalise, and then you celebrate when we go 2-1 up. But I'd almost come to terms. Well, I had fully come to terms with it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, right, that's it. Get Saka and Declan on the beach, give them a couple of weeks, get them back with Arteta. And I come to terms with that, and I was quite happy. I thought, good, that's two of our top boys back at Cole, on the massage table. And then suddenly it's like, okay, now they're going to play again in 5 days.
But Pierce, it hasn't been one game that's been shot.
That's so negative.
All four games.
That's what, but I mean, I'm just being honest. That's how England make me feel. Do you know what I mean? That's what my mind.
I have to admit, I buy into it massively. Like, I had come to terms with it that we were going out, but then like how happy I was, and I was at one of the boys' house. He had like barbecue and stuff. Loads of the boys were there. Like, it was. That's just what I love about England. Everyone's on the same side. Everyone was just fucking so over the moon. Whereas when I'm there watching Chelsea Arsenal, half of us are hating it and the other half are absolutely loving it. And it's horrible. Whereas that is just, I just love that sense of everyone's together, the whole country gets behind them. Right? Yeah, that is it. It's just that, I mean, even though we've been bad, the whole country comes into this morning pretty happy. We're still in the tournament. We had a fucking fantastic moment, a bicycle kick in the 95th minute. It was it was fantastic, and we are still in the tournament, which at the end of the day is all that matters. And we do have to improve,
point, right, George?
Yeah, it could be.
It could, that moment, that bicycle kick could change us, and suddenly give us the emphasis, and then we go and win it, George. We go and win it, George.
It could but it could be. I think he's seen that Saka's a left back at heart. So hopefully he'll be there.
Is that good? You have to keep him on the pitch. I get it.
I actually think if Trippier's injured, I think even if he's not, I would play Saka there, because how many times was Trippier in those positions?
At the end of the game, he was right wing, then left back, then right wing back.
I just play him at left back. The amount of times that Trippier was in a position where if he had a left foot, he'd whip in a dangerous ball across, and you've got a Harry Kane on the end of it or something. Saka will do that. He will put that ball in, and he'll drive at that line. And he'll put it in.
Try a proper left winger rather than fucking ripping up the whole thing and starting again. I think try Gordon. Try a proper left winger.
Yeah.
And keep Saka.
I wouldn't mind him going 3 at the back, to be honest. If he went, because I think he needs to drop Foden. I think if he played, so my team for the next round would be Walker, Stones, Konsa, Saka as a left wing back, more offensive. Trent on the right as a sort of wing back, and still bombing on, but less so than Saka. Mainu and Rice with Bellingham, Kane, and Palmer, but like Palmer and Bellingham either side of Kane, playing in those half spaces, getting on the ball, having a bit of a free license. I think that team looks pretty good, personally.
I'd probably swap Mainu for Bellingham, but put Gordon on left. He won't do it, but I'd put Gordon, Kane, and Palmer up front, like the front three.
Bellingham. But the way Bellingham played, I know I've been saying the same thing, dropping back into midfield, but it's like Ancelotti sees him as like a number 9, like false 9, and that only he scored 2 of our 3 goals. Him
poaching that box. And all he's done is really impacted when he's in the box.
So I don't know what Cat's talking about, players that look past it. I don't know if it's a year in Germany that's done it to Harry. I was listening to some analysis about Harry Kane. I'll have to dig it out for you boys, but what they were saying is there's this Harry Kane effect where whichever team you put him in, the whole team has to just adapt to him, so he becomes the main focal point. So a team is only as good as Harry Kane is, because you start him up top. If he drops in, the wingers have to react and bomb on. If he decides to stay up, then they need to come in. And where the mood he's in and how well he plays just dictates the rest of the team.
I was saying this last week,
and he's not been at it.
I was saying this on the last call. Kane needs to go. but he won't.
But
He won't.
we don't have the wingers that play to his style as well, because he does drop deep. That's his game. That's what he did at Tottenham. He does that at Bayern.
That offside goal, he did drop in. He did that caught back pass.
And that's what you can do.
I've got another question here: is substitutions. Were they right? Were they too late?
Too late.
I always think he subs too late. I always think he subs too late. But he won the game in the end, so he can argue. He can argue he got him right. But
I'd have taken Bellingham off. He'd have been long gone. I'd taken Kane off probably, and there's the 2 goal scorers. So like, what do we know ultimately? But they both did have stinkers up until that moment. So it's such a hard one. Like, if you lose that game, we're right, and if the game was 1 minute shorter, we'd have been right with that. But the way it panned out, he ended up being right. And I mean, I guess he is the manager, and maybe that is why. But it's
better to be a lucky manager than a good manager, right? So
yeah, exactly.
And I guess I'm looking ahead now. Obviously, George is already smiling. Pierce is like, no. I want them on the beach relaxing. But going on to it, it's just, where do we see the next game after that? We're getting closer and closer, edging through, right? But what needs
3 more wins, and we're European champions.
It doesn't even have to be wins, right? You could draw the way and win on penalties. Yes, but we've scraped through all the way through. What needs to change?
Energy.
Well, I mean, in fairness, if you're saying what needs to change, if we scrape through the whole way and fucking manage to win it playing shit, nobody will care. Nobody will remember that looking back on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's true.
Do a Portugal. Portugal were terrible in 2016. Terrible. And they won it.
They didn't win a game for the first 4
games. They won 1 game in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Through the whole tournament.
I'm sure you...
they drew with 3, yeah. Went through third place team. Yeah, but they do look good. I mean, Spain look quality. We can't knock that, can we? But
they turn up. But you know what? Credit to Georgia. They had a good go.
They had their chances too.
The shot on. That Napoli player, Kvaratskhelia, what a player.
I'm not sure Spain are all that defensively. I think they're fantastic going forward. They play great free-flowing football, but they'll give you chances, as they gave Georgia last night.
It was a good game. I thought Georgia made it a good game.
They did. As you say, fair play to them. Give it a go.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at Scotland, I'd rather go out like Georgia, having given it a go, than to just pitter.
1 million.
Well, speaking about Scotland, they gave the Swiss a good game, and Scotland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's because everyone's saying the Switzerland team are going to smash us. They've been so good. They did. Okay, they look good against Italy. They did look good, but they drew against Scotland.
Italy bad,
and Scotland could have won that game.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for Shaqiri.
We'll beat Switzerland. I'm confident about that. We'll beat them. Even if we play bad, we'll beat them
in 90 minutes.
Yeah, I'll put a 10 on it.
1-0. 1-0.
I think it'll be. I'm going for it'll be our best performance. I think the last game.
Confidence.
I mean, in all fairness, that doesn't take a lot. All they need to do is they need to have 2 shots in 90 minutes, and it's our best performance, right? But I think we'll play well against Switzerland, and the big test actually is the one after that. I think Netherlands or Austria. I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but looking at Austria, look very well drilled. They got Rev Rangnick in.
The old Manu manager.
Yeah,
he's got well drilled.
Right. But look, mate, if you'd have given us this run to the final, we could potentially have. I would be chewing your hand off for it.
Well, I'll ask this. I'll ask this to the older boys. George, it's probably ain't one for you. It's not one for me. It certainly ain't one for you. But because I watched it at a friend's house and he had some older relatives there, and I was asking him, that golden generation that everyone bangs on about when we had Lampard, Gerrard, Beckham, Campbell, Neville, stacked team, probably as stronger than we've got now.
Better, Yeah,
Did we ever have as easier runs as Gareth Southgate's had?
No,
like in
no,
major tournaments?
Nah.
Because I can always remember losing to Portugal or Germany, Argentina.
twice.
Yeah. We never had a run like this.
No, I mean,
You've never had the Slovenias, Slovakias in
I know you
knockout
get an
stage.
easier run in the Euros, but I mean, like,
No.
Gareth's had some fucking easy runs.
Yeah.
He
Like I said,
has.
better to be lucky than to be good, right? But the golden generation didn't have that, and the biggest problem for the golden generation was Brazil were amazing.
Yeah.
France were still great,
Spain.
and Spain were
Italy.
coming. You had that defensive
Italy won the World Cup in 06.
Yeah, but they weren't even like that. That was the era of Zidane and them. Portugal had Figo and them.
Yeah.
Germany were a bit weak then, actually, but around 2002, that time, 98 to 2002, it was Brazil. I mean, it's one. I know they're going about Spain, but
that Brazil team was
side,
ridiculous.
It made you love football.
France, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because it seems like
France, Brazil, and Spain. Those three ran the show.
They were unreal, like 10 years ago.
When you guys weren't even born, they ran the show.
Can't even remember it. Well, I don't. Spain, not quite so much. They were more like 2008 onwards, right?
Were you alive in 1998?
Yes, mate. I was born in 97.
You were born 1 year before. Yes, mate.
I remember the 98. I remember the 98.
Yeah, I was there down the park playing.
I know World Cup. Sorry, mate. I remember it all.
Yeah.
He
was there at the caravan park, shagging all the women. Yes, mate. Caravan friend.
I'm gonna move on from this.
Yeah.
VAR. Right at the beginning, I thought VAR was amazing, epic, with all of it, fine line. But more recently, it's not been as great.
It had to be the English ref, right? Had to be the English ref with that handball.
I mean, of course it was.
These refs have been the pony ones so far.
Yeah.
The thing is, I guess
how you can give that handball against Denmark.
Yeah. But I think by the letter of the law, they have to give it.
I agree, but when he goes to see it, he can see whether it's intentional or not, and how you're supposed to run with your arms to the side, like. I
mean, as you say, it's just typical. As soon as there's English refs involved, the VAR just goes to pot. It's the only game we've had bad VAR in, and it's just I don't think typical.
VAR's been bad generally in the tournament, in my opinion.
No,
but the English ref games, that's where it's come up. So
the offside in that game's bullshit as well. Like the offside rule should be if the striker's gaining an advantage. I mean, obviously how do you make that the rule? But that's what it was, right? It was to stop the striker getting an unfair advantage. He was a toenail offside and he had to come back to play the ball. What sort of advantage has he had there? That's where I really struggle with it. Because I think
it's been Tony Cruz in the final because they're playing Spain next, right?
Yeah,
that'll be tasty.
That's huge. That is a huge game.
Yeah,
that could be the final.
Yamal against Musiala, Williams coming in now.
Yeah,
well.
Wow. Mate, that could be a fucking. That could be a.
France don't look as strong as I thought they would.
No, but they're winning, right?
They scored one goal from open play. Like there wasn't an own goal or a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh,
they scored a goal from open play today. Still top goal scorer.
Chelsea put £100 million bid in. Guys, I don't know if you heard before you came on. Chelsea put £100 million bid in for own goal.
Did he pull that straight off Twitter? Did you?
Actually, talking Chelsea, you've signed another player today. I don't understand what's going on.
What, Dewsbury Hall?
Dewsbury Hall from Leicester.
Baller.
Yeah.
Well, I always wanted the way they've got round that, like buying selling a hotel back to a sister company and then getting that.
Yeah.
It's from selling our academy players. You can't deny it. We do fantastic business on the sales front. We bring in like 25 million for Hutchinson.
You've exploited a loophole with this hotel business. It is filth.
We had Hutchinson for 2 years, loaned him out to Ipswich, good loan spell, 25 mil in the bank. Thank you. Like
We
it's
take-
just good
We're
business.
having 20% of that as well. So that's
This is 15%, so you get like 2 mil. Probably Arsenal's second
20
biggest sale.
Right. On that note,
Saliba for a little bonus.
yeah, I knew you wanted to throw that in. Saliba, best player in the world. Yeah.
Best centre half in the world.
Best centre half in North London.
Oh. Right. On that note, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, guys.